I recently attended an Al-Anon speaker meeting. The topic was detachment. Like most meetings, I went home still thinking about the topic and trying to look at it from different angles. This led me to compare the word detach with the slogans let go and let be, which are similar in that they take you to kind of the same place, but the paths are different. I'm going to do my best to explain, but please remember, I'm not an expert on any of this. I'm simply sharing my opinions, which are rooted in my experience. So when you're attached to something, and it's unhealthy, in other words, if it's causing harm, right, that's when you need to detach. And it could be a person, place, or thing, but it's usually a person. And it's usually a person that you're close to. So close, in fact, that you become attached. In other words, you can't get any closer. Another word that's used to describe this is being enmeshed, which means not knowing where you end and the other person begins. Detaching can be physical, meaning physically separating or putting space between, or simply becoming unenmeshed on an emotional level. So it's possible to live under the same roof and also detach. However, sometimes one has to physically detach before one can emotionally detach. Letting go, on the other hand, has more to do with feelings and emotions. Generally, something negative such as fear, anger, resentment, jealousy. These dialed up or persistent emotions cause harm, which is why we desire to let them go. Sometimes you may think you're letting go of a person, but when you look into it, what you'll see is you're letting go of, let's say, maybe an obsession with that person. And once you let go of the obsession, detachment happens on its own accord. On the other hand, if you're enmeshed with an unhealthy person, you'll likely be holding on to unhealthy emotions such as resentment. If you can let that go, then maybe you don't have to detach from the person. Then there's letting be, which is on a different spiritual level altogether. To not need to hold on or attach, to be okay with what is. Obviously, one cannot let be while holding on or being attached. So one must first let go or detach, then shift to letting be. Perhaps this happens at the same time as a result of the spiritual awakening promised in step 12. Or perhaps letting be happens on its own accord as a result of detaching. I really don't know. But I do know that if I detach and don't practice letting it be, I'll soon be attached again. It's just a matter of when. And letting be is not only practiced with things that are external, but also with things that are internal, with feelings and emotions. Which means if you feel anger, don't feed into it. Also, don't try to get rid of it. Simply let it be. Remember, detaching and letting go are actions. Letting be is inaction. When you let be, your higher power will take it soon enough. When you practice letting be with things in your internal universe, then it's easy to let things be in your external universe. Recovery always starts from within. With all of this said, I want to acknowledge that detaching, letting go, and letting be often go against every instinct we have, or rather, against our conditioning. But we can recondition ourselves with the help of a higher power. If you truly want serenity, this is the way. I'm Ravi Bobby. Thank you for listening, and keep coming back.